Dear students, we are learning unit number 1, that is Introduction to NET, that is .NET Architecture. So in the last session we have seen about the .NET architecture, the theme of .NET architecture and the diagram of .NET architecture. Now in this session we see about the various components of .NET architecture. As we know that we learned about the different components of .NET architecture. One of the very important component is Common Language Runtime, that is also called as CLR. So how the CLR works? It works like a virtual machine in executing all languages. So it will work as a virtual machine. So all of the languages which are compatible with .NET architecture, those code written in different languages can be executed in Common Language Runtime. It checks and enforces security restrictions on the running code. So also for security restrictions, the CLR also takes care of it. Managing memory through the extremely efficient garbage collector. So we know that garbage collector is one of the advantage of any .NET architecture languages. So this CLR takes care of this garbage collector. Conversion from IL into code native to platform being executed on. So this we can see in our next slides also. So IL is an intermediate language. So though conversion of particular code into native code is being done with the help of CLR. Then all .NET languages must obey the rules standards imposed by CLR. For example, we create the objects, we can use these objects, declare those objects, then data types, the language libraries, errors, and exception handling. Interactive development environment is also the example of CLR. Next, the CLR, what it does, it ensures a common runtime environment for all the .NET languages. It uses common type system. For example, strict type and code verification also. The memory allocation and garbage collection is done. IL to native code compiler, which compiles MSIL into native executable code. Security and interoperability of the code with other languages. So CLR also interoperates with the security and the all other languages in .NET. Over 61 languages are supported, were supported today. The C#, VB, JavaScript, Visual C++ from Microsoft, as well as the Perl, Python, Smalltalk, COBOL, Haskell, Mercury, Eiffel, Oberon, OZ, Pascal, ABL, Camel, Scheme, etc. So overall, many languages, around 61 languages will be supported today with the .NET architecture. The Common Language Runtime is at the core of this .NET platform. The execution engine is the CLR. a unifying framework for designing, developing, deploying, and executing distributed components and applications. See, this CLR loads and runs code written in any runtime aware programming language, also manages memory, thread execution, type safety, verification, and garbage collections. It performs compilation. We know that we have to learn the just-in-time compiler, that is called as JIT. It uses a new common type system which is capable of expressing the semantics of most modern programming language. The common type system defines a standard set of and rules for creating new types. Inheritance, reference not dependent on source languages. The another component of our .NET architecture is Common Type System, that is CTS. CTS is a rich type system built into the CLR. So CTS actually built inside the CLR. What it does, it implements various types. For example, integer, double, float, etc. And all operation on those types which are actually concerned with other languages. It also strictly enforces type safety. So it enforces the type safety also. It ensures that classes are compatible with each other by describing them in a common way. It enables type in one language to interoperate with type in another language. So, interoperability between two different languages can be done with the help of common type system. The next component is Common Language Specification, that is also called as CLS. CLS is a set of specifications that language and library designers need to follow. So what is this CLR? CLS is a set of specifications which languages and library designs need to follow the specifications. This will ensure interoperability between two languages. The specifications that a language must conform to be accepted into the .NET framework. CLS performs the following functions. What it does? CLS, it establishes a framework that helps enable cross-language integration, type safety, and high-performance code execution. It provides an object-oriented model that supports the complete implementation of many programming languages. It defines the rules that languages must follow, which helps to ensure that the objects written in the different languages can interact with each other. So common language specification is also one of the component which is helpful to cross-language integration and interoperability between two different languages in the .NET architecture. The next component is intermediate language, that is called as IL. Sometimes we call it as a MSIL, that is Microsoft Intermediate Language. The .NET languages are not compiled to machine code. See, many of the .NET languages are not compiled to machine code. They are firstly compiled to an intermediate language. So that is called as a MSIL. CLR, which accepts the intermediate language code and recompiles it to machine code. CLR, that is a common language runtime, which is a basic building block of our .NET architecture. It accepts the intermediate code and it recompiles it into the machine code. The recompilation is just-in-time compiler, that is JIT, which meaning it is done as soon as the function or subroutine is called. So recompilation is done by the JIT, and when it will be done? As soon as the function and subroutine is called in the CLR. The JIT code, that is just-in-time compiler code, stays in the memory. See, the JIT code is also stays in the memory for subsequent calls. In case where there is not enough memory, it is discarded, thus making JIT process interpretive. Thank you very much.